Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? We'll make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryan text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Hey, here we are. It's Progrum Password here on KFAN. It's Creasel and Common against JG and High Energy Helvey. Where are we at, Tenneby?
Oh, well, you and John Creasel are in the lead at halftime. You guys have 42 points. JG and Zacho have 20. They actually led this game at one point 20-9, but you and Creasel have gone on a 33-0 run to end the first half.
Like Purdue Gophers.
Oh. How about that?
As always, you can watch Program Password at KFAN.com/watch. Thanks to typically Zach Halverson, today Nick Madden. We appreciate all of their efforts. Are we ready to get back into the second half?
Why not?
Common and Zach, you two should have the iPad here, please. The password is trap. All right, Common, you're down 22, so you have the option here. You want to go first or second?
Halby's down 22.
Yeah.
Did I screw that up? I'm sorry. Helvey.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, we all make mistakes. Helvey, you're down 22 points. You have the option. Would you like to go first or second?
Second.
All right, Common and Creasel for 10.
Booby.
Damn it.
Trap.
I couldn't think of that
Oh, yeah, you have an out.
word. Yeah.
That's a 43-0 run.
I get it now. Does anybody get that? Why couldn't think of booby? I go, well, yeah.
Well done.
I'm on the wrong show.
Men have them too.
Yeah.
Speaking of the wrong show, the Power Trip Morning Show is going to have a bowl game named after them next year. That's it's called Yoga Pants Breast Bowl.
Yeah.
I'll send that to Rewrite and have them.
I like it, though.
Sorry, I thought you would.
43-0 run for Common and Creasel. They now lead 52-20. Creasel and Gerdsey. Take a look at the iPad. The password is mace. JG, you need to stop the bleeding. You're down 32 points. I should say that with the button on. JG, you are need to stop the bleeding here. You're down 32 points. Going to have the option for a while. What do you want to do here, first or second?
Second.
All right, Creasel and Common for 10.
Spray.
Surf.
JG and Halby for 9.
Face.
Missed.
Creasel and Common for 8.
Pepper.
Common and Halby for 7.
Spray.
Mace?
Mace.
In your face.
It's tough because I couldn't get that out of my mind. It's the mace in your face.
Pepper was a good clue.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
a really good one.
I was going with that too. Yeah.
I would have gone with the rapper Mace, but that's just me.
What would you have said then?
I don't know.
Because I already tried the rap thing on Halby. It didn't work. You didn't know Eminem.
52-27. Finally, Gerdsey and Halby stopped the bleeding after 5 correct answers for Common and Creasel. They're back on the board. Common and Zach. Take a look at the iPad. The password is story. All right, Zach, a chance to build a little momentum here. You're down 25 points. Options on you. Do you want to go first or second?
Let's go first.
You sound super excited
With
about
a big
that.
smile, too.
Zach and JG for 10.
Love.
Train.
Common and Creasel for 9.
Good singing.
Thank you.
Bedtime.
Story.
Yeah.
Great clue.
No, you should have. It was fine.
Common, I've been impressed by your laser focus today. You've been very good over there.
Dialed in.
Yeah.
He's bringing his A game.
Am I, how far am I from 100 wins?
Four away.
Trying to catch Lil B.
61-27. Common and Creasel, you two are 19 points away from a victory. Creasel and Gerdsey, take a look at the iPad. The password is REST. All right, JG. Down. Man, the math gets harder and harder. 34 points.
Does it ever?
Options on you. Do you want to go first or second?
First. Got to get moving here.
All right, JG and Zach for 10.
Sleep.
Number.
Common and Creasel for 9.
Nap.
Snooze.
JG and Zach for 8.
Relax.
Doze.
Creasel and Common for 7.
Sit.
Recline.
Gerdsey and Zach for 6.
Defense.
Slack.
Creasel and Common for 5.
Stop.
Alarm.
All right, last one. Gerdsey and Zach for 4.
Chill.
Hang.
That was a tough one.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
I thought the clues you guys gave were really good.
What was the word?
Rest. Rest.
Yeah, dang.
I thought you guys did a great job giving clues.
Yeah.
Give
I
me,
thought defense was really good.
give me Wayside.
Oh, yeah, Wayside would have
That
worked.
would have been, yeah.
Restaurant away.
That didn't come to mind.
What are those?
A wayside rest. Yeah. Come on.
All right, still 61-27. Common and Creasel with the lead. Common and Zach. Take a look at that iPad. The password is DIP. All right, Zach. Options on you. You're down 34. You want to go first or second? Sorry. Didn't turn the button on. Zach, go.
I'll go
Options on
first.
you. All right. Zach and JG for 10.
Skinny.
Fat.
Common and Creasel for 9.
Swim.
Dip.
Good clue, Harvey.
That was a great clue.
Could have gone a couple different
I don't know what
ways.
his voice means.
Yeah.
Like when I play with Donaldson, I know where it goes. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was like the opposite voice for Donaldson.
Right, I see
As
what you're
opposed to
saying.
leading me in.
Skinny.
Yeah.
Fat. Yeah.
Trying to, yeah, that's my bad.
All right, here's where we're at. Common and Creasel, you have 70 points. So if you get a 10-pointer, you are victorious.
I'm going second no matter what.
Gerdsey and Zach, you are still at 27 points.
He wants to get old Yellard.
Creasel
We're not
and
calling any timeouts here. It's over.
Creasel and Gerdsey, take a look at the iPad, please. The password is Missouri. Gerdsey, actually, you're down 43. You're having the option for a long time.
Second.
He's going second. All right, Creasel and Common for 10 and the win.
State.
Union.
Gerdsey and Helvey for 9. Five seconds.
Chiefs.
Misery?
Well, is that Missouri or Missouri?
Hold on.
We'll give it to you.
What did you say?
Missouri.
That's not what you said.
That's a misery.
He was saying how he feels right now.
How all of us feel, including yes, we're all miserable, including the audience. But
I was setting it because I didn't have confidence you guys were going to get that, so I was going to come
I'm
back
still
with
not sure we did.
Branson.
Yeah, Branson. Branson would have been
Could
a
he
good
have said Mizzou?
No.
That's part of the word.
Branson. Yeah, I was like St. Louis.
Yeah,
It was,
it's a
though.
hard word.
Yeah.
I don't think all the audience is disappointed. This text message says, the 4 funniest men on KFAN. This is a top 5 program
Wow.
password.
Well, thank
The
you.
4 funniest.
4 funniest.
Very kind. 3.5.
Could have said. Also, could have said.
You could have been in that show, 3.5 Men.
Yes.
Could have said 5 too. By the way, just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
You didn't have to exclude me on that
Well,
one.
we haven't heard half the things you said because you don't do the button. We have no idea. You could have had some real bangers back there.
All right, we're at 70 to 36. Common and Creasel with the lead. Common and Zach. Take a look at the iPad. The password is shoot. Can you hear me now?
Got you.
You guys see it over there?
He rolled over quickly here. He's feeling confident.
All right, Zacho, you're down 34. Options on you. You can get 2 in a row here. You want to go first or second?
That's a little close.
Calm down, Fred Flintstone.
I'll go. I'll go second.
All right, Common and Creasel for 10 and the win.
Darn.
Shoot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Damn.
Great clue.
Good clue.
Great. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
80 to 36.
80 to
Creasel and Common with the win.
It's a bedtime story.
That is.
Hey, we got the 213 though. That's nice.
Yeah.
It took
We did. That's the beauty of it.
took a Gopher Daily update.
And maybe if we could get a good game with Sarah Spain in there, too.
Yeah. Does she have a podcast?
Yeah, she has a podcast. She's coming up.
We used that hour. She came in studio. We used it 4 best ofs in a row. People noticed. It was a good hour.
That was fun.
Yeah, thanks. Creasel,
Thank
good to
you.
see you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Both of you as well.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for coming in. We do appreciate that. We'll take a break, come back. Dark Star Memorial Hours next year on The Fan. And now, there's valet parking.
Pull up in front of. Here's how it works in the real world, just so everybody knows. Pull up, you give the guy $20, you tell him, take good care of it, it's the only one I've got. When you come out, there'll be 2 guys holding the doors open for you and whoever you may be with. Slip the kid $5 and off you go. A lot of people say, it's $25 and you didn't get anything for it. It's $25 and I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Then you go to Lariano on day 5, and if he's got it, you're in good shape. If he doesn't have it, get the women and children out of the first 5 rows in left field.
Seems more honest than the tale. I am curious.
You are what you wear, except for meat sauce.
You wanna hurry up
You had me at go back to the drugstore.
and intrigue with us.
Then what?
Ain't this song about?
You probably don't like mimes either, right?
I don't care. Dark star.
Incredible.
It's the Dark Star Memorial Hour. We have several today. We're always excited and delighted to pass them along, though there is a bit of, you're a bit verklempt because it's for loved ones that have gone to the great beyond, but it's always nice to honor them. This one says, hi, Common. I never miss program password on Friday, so I never miss the Dark Star Memorial Hour either. For some reason, I envisioned writing in someday about our dogs, Charlie and Thor, but never thought I'd be sharing about my dad. We lost a good man, strike that, a great man, November 20, when my dad, Noel, passed away on his 85th birthday down in Northfield. He was born in Dawson out in western Minnesota, attended South Dakota State, married his high school sweetheart Lois after dating for 7 years, and moved to Northfield, where he and my mom lived for 60 years in the house they built way back in 1965. He was talented in so many ways. He designed and built, with a couple 13, 14 good friends, their cabin on Fox Lake near Northfield, and followed it up with a kids' cabin once grandkids started coming to the lake. He restored 2 boats, built sailboats with a buddy, made a go-kart for my brother and I, and was a gifted woodworker, making guitars, furniture for their home, and dozens of beautiful gifts for others. He was the most generous, considerate man you could ever find. He loved to go curb shopping for broken down lawnmowers that he fixed up and gave to people that couldn't afford to buy one. 29 lawnmowers in total. He once sold a car to someone and the engine gave out just a couple of weeks later. You might think that he returned her money and took her car back, but instead he let her keep the car, gave her money back so the engine could be fixed. He and my mom were so good together as well. Just a few years ago, they were presented the Joseph Lee Haywood Distinguished Service Award by the defeat of Jesse James Day's committee Jesse Day's committee for the commitment to public service in Northfield. He served on the Northfield School Board for 42 years and was the longest tenured school board member in the state of Minnesota. His way of encouraging others to not just complain about things, but to get involved and be part of the solution was telling them if you want to kick, you should join the dance line. I'm going to give him a rim shot for that. Thank you. My dad didn't want anyone to have to deal with planning his funeral service or writing his obituary, so he wrote them both of them himself. Not only did he pick the hymns, choose the special music and the musicians, and select the lessons, but he even gave the pastor a head start on the homily. In the file I found in his computer, he described a funny, self-deprecating series of events he had once experienced and left a note for the pastor saying, "Pastor, use this one for your opener." Noel loved his wife, his family, which now includes a great-grandson, his friends, his community, his church, and his Lord and Savior. There's no doubt that he was given the express elevator to heaven. I never heard him curse or swear, and only once did he tell me an off-color joke, which I recently said to our two boys and son-in-law that I would share with them after my mom, that I would only share with them after my mom also passed. But if Dark were to look him up, slap him on the back and tell him, "Yours is a life well lived, my boy," he might get my dad to whisper that off-color joke to him as well. Keep up the tomfoolery, skullduggery, nonstop nonsense comment, and thanks for the chance to reminisce a bit about my dad. As you said in your book, which is propping up a table leg right now, it's definitely a cathartic way to relive some of my memories of him. Todd from Brookings, South Dakota. This next Dark Star says, our dear Bella has gone home to the Lord. Caring and strong, Bella filled her 26 years with purpose, adventure, and service. She died tragically as a crew module leader for the Idaho Department of Lands at a prescribed burn with her beloved team. Born January 24th, 1999 to Kelvin and Kathleen Oscarson, she graduated from Watertown High School in 2017. After earning her associate degree, she joined the Minnesota Conservation Corps and worked as a crew leader. She then worked for the Minnesota DNR as a fire resource lead. She settled into Floodwood with the love of her life, Matt Becker. Bella joined the local volunteer ambulance service, was close to earning an emergency management and homeland security degree, and fought fires in multiple states and Canada. Matt and Bella moved to Stites, Idaho in early 2025, with Bella working for the Idaho Department of Lands. Bella's DNR and IDL colleagues, including excellent mentors, meant the world to her. Bella loved outdoor adventures, cooking, baking, crafting, gardening, and reading. She cherished family and friend time, sharing her joy, quiet faith, playful humor, and funky dance moves. She also wrote a children's book about firefighting called The Firebug. May she rest in peace. This one says, hey, Common, this Saturday marks 10 years since my dad, Alan, passed away. He drove a semi for 50 years, routinely driving back and forth between our hometown of Cooperstown, North Dakota, and Mason City, Iowa. He was a diehard Vikings and Twins fan. He liked to smoke now and then, never too often, just enough to take the edge off after a long haul. I miss him every day. But when I talk about him, I don't just remember the miles, the games, or the smoke break. I remember his grit, his work ethic, his loud belly laugh, and how he could make even the worst losses feel like a story worth telling. If you could honor him during the Dark Star Memorial Hour, I would appreciate it more than a Twins win in July. And I like to think that up in heaven, he and Dark Star are parked side by side, cigars in hand, shaking their heads over another Vikings loss, and betting whether the Twins can even get to double-digit wins next year. Thanks, me boy. Signed, Jeffrey in Georgetown, Texas. Then our final one reads, Common, I'm writing you today to tell you about the loss of our dog, Bubba. I say our dog because my whole family loved him. He was a big black lab who made friends with everyone he met. Although he looks intimidating, he was a big teddy bear. He loved running alongside my John Deere tractor, bird hunting, and his favorite, riding in the UTV. He was so good with the little kids, no matter how hard his ears got pulled or how bad his tail got stepped on, Bubba was always forgiving. For 10 years, we enjoyed his company around campfires, where Bubba would go around the circle and lean on anyone he thought could be persuaded into petting him. While also enjoying an occasional potato chip or marshmallow, Bubba was a part of our family and will be sorely missed. Tell Dark that if he is sitting down and feels a heavy weight on his knee, it's just Bubba stealing a pet, and Dark will be rewarded with an aggressive tail wag. Thank you, Common. You're the best. Signed, Dave. And those are your Dark Star Memorials today here on this Friday. We'll pause. We'll return. We call it the Victory Formation segment. We've had another winning week. We'll do that next when we take a knee here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
The holiday season is the perfect time to give and receive. This December, partner with builders and remodelers and get great savings on any project, plus up to $500 in holiday groceries. And builders and remodelers will make a matching donation to Second Harvest Heartland. Visit buildersandremodelers.com to help give this holiday season.
It can't get any more even Steven in a semifinal matchup in NCAA soccer regional semifinal. Third-ranked Wisconsin, second-ranked Stanford. Tied at 1-1 in the best of 5 in Game 3. Tied at 17. The Wisconsin just scored, I believe, and they're up now 18-17. Like volleyball tend to be? You know, it's
sure.
Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's fun to watch.
I was an intramural volleyball champion at the University of St. Thomas.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Bump set, spike. Did you bump set or spike or all of them?
My job, just because I have long, lanky arms, was just basically to block at the net. That was basically the only value I brought to the team.
Were you effective at it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you block shots at the net like Rudy Gobert blocked shots at the rim?
I would say the two of us are very comparable.
I would think so.
I would do the little Dikembe Mutombo finger wag.
We have not talked about this story, and it's taken a ugly twist. Sherrone Moore, this is the headline. It is Sherrone, I think is how you pronounce it, right? Ex-head coach of Michigan football. It's an Associated Press story. Sherrone Moore charged with stalking, home invasion after being fired as Michigan football coach. Dateline Ann Arbor. Fired University of Michigan football coach Sherrone Moore broke into the apartment of a woman with whom he'd been having an affair and threatened to kill himself.
Yeah.
After she reported the relationship to the school and he lost his job. That's according to prosecutors. They made that announcement earlier today. Moore was charged with 3 crimes, including home invasion and stalking. As he watched by video from jail, authorities laid out extraordinary allegations against Moore and provided details that answered a key question. What led Michigan to suddenly oust the 39-year-old head coach Wednesday after his second season at the helm of the storied football program? According to the Washtenaw County First Assistant Prosecutor, Katie Rezmirski, Moore and the woman had been having an affair for a number of years before she ended the relationship. Moore repeatedly called the woman and texted her, but she refused to respond. The prosecutor went on to say eventually she presented herself to the University of Michigan, cooperated in some form of investigation. As we all know, Moore was fired from his employment. And I think he's married with 3 daughters, I think. So just an awful situation all the way around. But that's what led him. He had an inappropriate relationship. And then when it was announced that he was arrested, and it's because of stalking and home invasion. So there you go. On that note, Teddy, this was announced yesterday, but I think we were off the air before. I don't think we talked about it. CeeDee Lamb is past concussion protocol,
yes,
and it looks like he will play. Which obviously benefits Dallas mightily. We talked about how what's the second wide receiver's name again?
George Pickens.
Pickens and CeeDee Lamb have presented a great 1-2 combo. Pickens, once CeeDee Lamb went out, he wasn't as effective in their last game against Detroit, but that's a good 1-2 punch there. And Dak's having a hell of a year, so that presents problems more so than if Lamb had stayed in the concussion protocol. There was also a quote from him in the story about something he's not concerned about, his health concerns. He's not, I'm going to get hit again. I'm going to get another one. I think he understands the risks and is going to go ahead and play. We've talked a lot about the game, Tennessee. I guess we haven't really talked a lot about it because we're with the situation that the Vikings are in where, Like they would have to win every game and every other team would have to lose every game that's ahead of them in order for the Vikings to make the playoffs. So they're, for all intents and purposes, out of it. So it's breaking down games.
Let's just say they're virtually eliminated.
Yeah, virtually eliminated. And breaking down games at this point, basically meaningless as far as, making qualifying for the postseason isn't as quite as enjoyable. But I think
it's more about the process and the progression of your quarterback and offense at this stage.
That is correct. And then there come the off-season decisions that will have to be made as far as the way they configure the roster, which obviously salary cap ramifications play into that. And then, depending upon what the record ends up being, where will they be as far as in the draft? Do they have... They're going to get a couple of compensatory picks, right? It looks like for losing the two quarterbacks,
Darnold and Daniel Jones.
And Daniel Jones, like a third and a fourth. Or, it's like between 2 and 3 or between 3 and 4, between 4 and 5, whatever that is. And I think, did I read this right? Do they have, with those compensatory, they'll have 3 7th-round picks too, which aren't real meaningful, but will they have 8 or is it 10 draft picks going into next season? I think it's 8
I can't tell you about the compensatory, but they have a first, a second, a third, a fifth, a sixth, and then 3 7ths.
So,
I think they lost their fourth. They lose the fourth in that Adam Thielen trade.
I think that might be correct.
And then it says the Vikings anticipate receiving compensatory picks based on free agency departures during the 2025 free agency, particularly for quarterback Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones. Those compensatory picks are awarded between the Super Bowl and the draft.
Then there's this paragraph I saved from, I think it was either Athletic or Fish Wrap, one of the Fish Wraps from earlier this year, first part of the month, first weekend in December. Talk about the Vikings. It says, they already have $346 million in cap commitments and $250 million in cash allocated to the 2026 roster. Give me an would you? When they'll likely need to create cap space by releasing or restructuring the contracts of several players in their late 20s or early 30s. They could have 9 or 10 draft picks next year, including 4 in the top 100, but lack of quantity and quality from the recent draft classes. But a lack of quantity and quality from the recent draft classes forced them to try and build a contender with veterans who carry higher costs and whose bodies have borne more physical stress than young players would. And that is the truth of the matter. I mean, obviously, and it's sad, really, as a Viking fan, but Green Bay has gone about it the right way lately. I mean, they are a first-place team. They are a playoff team for sure. I don't see how they can miss unless they lost out, but they're going to make the playoffs, probably win the division, depending on what happens in the next few weeks. And they have Denver. They got one more game with Chicago. That one will be at Curly, I believe. Or no, is it at Soldier? The other one was at Curly, I think. Yes, it was at Curly. So they're at Soldier. But, and again, I could dig up the paragraph, but it would take me a while. Then we'd have to play the intermission music. But I remember reading that Green Bay, it was talking about, part of it was just talking about how successful the draft classes have been for all the other teams in the NFC North. Green Bay is like, they have 18 players that were drafted between when Kwesi and O'Connell first came on board. Since then to now, and like 12 of them are starters. Detroit, a little less than that. In Chicago, a little less than that. But all where the Vikings have like 2 starters from that draft class and only a small hand, maybe 6, 7 players that have been drafted at all, I think, if even that much. So, and talking about, having to load up on free agents that are expensive and that are older. And for the most part, their damaged goods tend to be. They just are. They've been beat up. They've had injuries over their career. The best way to have a team is when it's still young, and then you got that rookie quarterback that young quarterback under his first year contract. That's the best way to build a team. And it's difficult to do, but it can be done. But that's the situation the Vikings find themselves in, is They're going to have to restructure. A lot of these veteran guys are just going to be gone, right? I mean, I think Hitman will retire probably, right? They won't even have to release him. He's just going to say, that's enough for me. He'll retire. I don't have a roster in front of me, but there'll be other guys that they're just not going to. They're going to say, can't do it, or guess what? If you want to play with the team this year, you're going to have to take a cut, maybe including the 4 guys that they signed last offseason, the free agent, the 2 interior defensive linemen and the 2 interior offensive linemen. So
I'm guessing because of the age of a bunch of players, we could see a lot of movement on this roster of guys getting cut. It's because they've invested a lot of money in older players that, while they may be okay, aren't contributing and unlikely to make a resurgence next year.
Correct. So that's
one of these days we got to hit on some draft picks.
Yeah.
And I'm still curious as to whether, and we'll have all offseason to talk about this, but I'm still curious if they're going to allow Kwesi to make those picks next year.
He did sign his extension, right? He was given one finally, right? Not that they can say, sorry, we've changed our mind, but both he and O'Connell are signed. I think you heard the same thing I did. I have no proof of this. It's just I heard from a guy who knows a guy that part of O'Connell was he wanted a little bit more say in personnel decisions.
Yep.
So, because you and I have talked about that. I'm never sure. I texted Lieber last week, and I said, because the debate is Kwesi's the blame is being heaped upon him more so than anybody else in that organization for the unsuccessful drafts in his tenure. And he is the guy that makes those selections. But what I asked Lieber was what you and I have talked about, but you're still, I can't believe there's any general manager who isn't consulting with the head coach, the defensive coordinator, the coach. Who do you like? I mean, he still does make the final pick, like what Lieber says. But I got to think, and Lieber did say this, he thinks that for certain the McCarthy decision, there was a lot of input from KOC because, that's what he is. He's quarterback whisperer guy. It's the offense that you want to run. You're going to have quite a bit of say in that, right? That's why part of the reason why they decided to draft someone and not re-sign Darnold and not go with Danny Dimes is because Darnold was going to cost him a lot of money. I mean, not as much as, one of the top quarterbacks in the league, but he was going to be paid $30 million a year, right? A little bit more than that, $33 million a year. And they thought that money could be better spent. We can get the rookie quarterback and I can get plenty out of him. And then Danny Dimes I think the writing was on the wall. He knew McCarthy's the guy. I'm playing as a backup. I don't want to do that. I want to play. And they didn't want to
competition's. Yeah. Well, maybe looking at it back now, maybe the competition wasn't easier.
Well, yeah.
In Indianapolis, but
yeah.
That was the thought process at the time.
And then, whether there was any serious consideration of Rodgers or not, I don't know. Like you speculated, it's possible that maybe O'Connell did want to go with Rodgers.
Yeah. I think that's the thing is just because decisions are made doesn't mean everyone in the front office and coaching staff is aligned on that decision.
Correct.
Right? And that's where you can kind of get some issues and pushback from, right, just to your point, Kwesi's probably not making he's not like all the entire draft selections are all his input. He has scouts that he's depending on. He's got coaches. I think even in free agency, I think a lot of the guys they're getting on defense are B-flow guys that B-flow is handpicked and selected. So it's, but it's not always, hey, all 8 guys that are kind of in the decision-making process all were aligned and agreed in the same thing.
This one says, that sounds good, but look at the Packers. Jordan Love's one of the top paid quarterbacks, and they haven't done nothing yet. Well, yeah, that's.
I would say nothing.
No, I wouldn't say that. And you know what? That's most teams. Last I checked, and you can use this next time the Tana Fitzgerald's set sale. Only one team wins the big game every year. And so I would throw this back at Kyle from Isanti. Who do you think right now is in better shape right now and for the next couple of years, at least as we speak right now, Green Bay or Minnesota? It's not even close.
No.
The Packers have a quarterback there, no matter what you would think about Love, he's a top 10 for sure, might even be better than that. He's putting up numbers they're young, they're good defensively, offensively. We got salary cap issues, aging players, a quarterback, we're still not sure. He's got training wheels on. And do I think? Yeah, I still think I've seen enough.
Who's our young building block to build around?
We're hoping it's McCarthy, but we don't know that. That's it. We don't know. And you know what? Again,
Technically it could be, if you want to call Justin Jefferson young, he's now probably in prime range. He's not young. And the other one would be very similar to Justin, would be Christian Darrisaw, which after this year, I still think he's got a chance to be good and be very helpful, and I want him on the team, but he's not as dependable.
No.
You can't count on him moving forward.
Who was the guy that played left tackle for San Francisco for all those years that we loved? That we were rumored to always get.
Why did I just think it was Jonathan Allen? That's our own guy. It's a similar name
Williams,
to that.
Isn't it? Well, whoever it was, Darrisaw ain't that.
No.
So.
But he's a good quality player, but if he's not on the field.
Well, and here's what I'll tell you. When it comes to McCarthy, my gut from watching tells me I don't think he's going to be an elite quarterback. That's what my gut tells me. But we've also seen a couple flashes of him, and he's been very successful. So he could very well end up being a quality, not just a quality quarterback, but one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Sure, it's possible. My gut tells me no, but sometimes I have an upset stomach. So there's, going on my gut is I would certainly hope nobody in the Viking organization goes with my gut feel. But I think a lot of people, when you evaluate fans I even think people that make these decisions for a living sometimes have a gut feel on somebody, right?
Sure.
That's what you got, kind of go on a gut feel. I hope I'm wrong. I hope my gut is just upset that's what it ends up being. I just needed some Pepto-Bismol. Because I'd love it for the kid to be great. He's got a great attitude. The alter ego thing kind of makes you roll your eyes, shrug your shoulder, and shake your heads after how he's performed. But I like the bit. I think it's cool. He's got confidence. We know that.
He should have waited.
Yeah, you should have.
He didn't do himself any favors by, after one good performance, calling himself 9 and just be a little more established in the league before you
are correct.
Reveal that's what you call your alter ego.
But at least he has the confidence. And he might end up being a really good quarterback O'Connell probably is better than a lot of other guys at coaching up quarterbacks. Quarterback whisperer thing, I kind of roll my eyes, shrug my shoulders, and shake my head. But he's probably is better than a lot of guys. So there's still hope. But, when you look at the money they've got invested and, it's not, And then you look at the other teams. The Bears seem to be up and coming, right?
Well, sure. They have a young franchise quarterback and offensive head coach that's very highly thought of.
They have a young roster also.
Oh, all their offensive skill players are young.
Yeah. Detroit, now, on the other hand, I don't know where they're kind of at that precipice, I think. They had the 2 terrific years. The first year they went to 2 years ago, they went to the NFC Championship game. Blew a 24-7 lead. Lost to San Fran. Last year they had even a better regular season. They went 15-2, but got dumped by Washington in the first round of the playoffs. This year, Mark Craig put this in his he does a prediction thing every week, and he makes the prediction with a score, and then he puts a little witty one-liner or just a one-liner thing. And one of them, it said the Lions, this is how they've gone all year: win-loss, 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 win-loss. They keep talking about the Lions haven't lost back-to-back games since November of 2022 or something like that. So they won last week, so he's predicting a loss. Because it's win-loss, win-loss. But
I always love that
the Ragnow retirement can't be. Is it? Am I looking for overstated or understated?
Yep.
Your center is so important, and they've been working together for years. The guy that makes the other calls and stuff, he gets the line all set up and everything, and he's out, Zeitler's out, and then I think they do miss the play caller more than I thought they would. I thought that was overrated, but they're just not as...
Well, even looking forward, Detroit should be a quality team here for the next couple of years, right? They should be a playoff-type team. What happened was they had a window where they had a lot of high draft picks. They hit on those draft picks, and now those guys are having to get paid.
Yeah.
So they performed, they got paid, and now you're in a spot where you can't really supplement the roster like you once did.
Correct. That's correct.
You're not going to be drafting as highly as you once did. And your quarterback, while being a good quality quarterback, still, I don't know if he's one of those quarterbacks that can elevate everyone around him, right? He still needs to have a lot going on. And with the aging offensive line at some of the positions, you don't really have that. So they should still be good, and they're going to be competitive. But they might have missed that big game window.
Yeah, I think they did. Well, there was a quote on a news conference, one at Campbell's, where they gave the most recent contract they gave did they finally give Hutch the contract? I think he was the latest one. And he basically said, "Oh yeah, we're just going to keep spending money until we don't have any left." And they're at the point where they ain't got any left. So yeah,
we call that the anti-Polad.
Yeah, that is exactly it. Thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You too.
Hey, you and I will be on Cool Christmas, Cool on Awake tomorrow,
right,
1 to 5 p.m. So.
It's pretty wacky. You'll be listening to that. It's a Cool Christmas, Cool 108, our sister station. That'll do it for us. We enjoyed our visit with you today. Enjoy your weekend. Stick around. Big Ticket JG there next, right here on The Fan.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
You like that? You like that?
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.